Yeah.
Quick, turn it off again so we can hear it. Totally. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll tell you afterwards. Well, during the commercial break, then we'll have time. Okay, guys. It's good to see you.
Yep, good to see you.
Yeah.
So, I think we left last time in a very interesting.
I think we just finished a battle, right?
Right. So, just to remind you all, what basically happened during the last 4 sessions that have been stretched over like 6 months of actual play time. So, you are basically working for a gnome named Jolly Fizzlebang in Waterdeep, and he sent you to Nightstone to deliver a invitation. He sent you to Nightstone to escort Eileen, who is the ambassador of Ruathim, so she can meet with Nightstone ruler, a lady named Valrosa Nander. And when you reached Nightstone, you found the place deserted, and there was a lot of wreckage around, and roof punched out, and big holes in them, a lot of boulders thrown here and there all over the place. And during your investigation of Nightstone, you found some guards who told you the lady is dead. And while Eileen was searching for the message that Lady Valrosa was supposed to deliver to her, a group of mercenaries stepped in. They were led by this mutilated elf named Zolkin, and he basically tried to save the city, and you guys realized that his intentions are basically to take it and control it or occupy it. But then a group of orcs driven from the Waterdeep forest, it's a small forest just north of Nightstone, they came barging into the city, into the town, with a group of elves chasing them. And you used this distraction to actually escape Nightstone. And while the orcs and Zolkin's mercenaries were fighting, you kind of left town. And during that flight, we lost Aemon, who drowned in the river, but we did meet Elithir Breath. As you circled Nightstone and reached the Waterdeep forest, basically to recover, you found Elithir there, and he helped you reach the Dripping Caves. You were led to believe that the villagers, the people who lived in Nightstone, fled there. And upon reaching there, you actually found a cave with a bunch of goblins inside, and this hulking ogre taking a mud bath. And after eliminating the goblins and that ogre, this is, just to remind you, the second ogre that you've met recently, right? The first one was in Nightstone itself. So after killing it and the goblins, you had a moment to basically recover. And all you can hear right now is the drip drip of water in the cave. And basically this is it. Nothing more is moving, at least not in the main hall. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm currently still a bear, and I think I probably have pretty good perception, so I want to try if I can sniff like people, humans or something.
Yes, okay, try it.
Okay, I'm a brown bear, and my perception should be...
It's the same. It's the same as you normally have.
+3. Okay.
Yeah, but I think you have advantage on smelling, maybe.
Doesn't say anything like that. Keen smell. You bear has advantage on wisdom checks, perception checks that rely on smell. So yeah, I do have advantage on this.
Okay.
So that's an 18.
Okay, that's actually very good. So with an 18, yeah. Okay. So with an 18, you do smell humans around. So if you look at the cave that you are in right now, I'm going to reveal some parts of it. Reveal. Okay. So, and Zunis, I think you are on the platform right now.
I am.
So you can feel, you can smell bat guano and the stench of human sweat coming from the opening just north of you. But as you sniff around, you also sniff a goblin standing just about here. And and when you look at it, you can see that he's armed with a spear, and he has a red helmet. You think you saw one of these helmets when you fought the ogre. I think it was a couple of hours ago. So he kind of peeks into the cave with his red helmet, and you can see him counting you.
Okay, do I have any way of relaying that information to my group without alerting the goblin? I don't think I have.
You haven't learned bear sign language?
He stands there in that dog pose, the hunting one with the 1 foot up looking right at it.
No, if you guys want to do something right now before I do anything, then do it now because I think I'm just
gonna lean up at this stalagmite and say, "Oh, you really saved my ass," and then I fall down through it because it's illusionary. Oh shit! I was hiding behind an illusionary stalagmite. Who put that there? Looking around. I thought this would cover.
So when you kind of stumble through the illusionary terrain, the goblin looks in your direction, and then he spots the dead ogre, and he kind of, his eyes open up, and then he stands like this.
Yeah, I think I will charge at it in the way that would be most intimidating.
Okay, cool. So you can all see the bear kind of roars and jumps from the platform. Surprisingly enough, the goblin doesn't flee. He looks at you, and then he takes a step forward and drop his spear and kind of fall on his knees and say, "Snigbat, good. Don't kill Snigbat."
Okay, I shapeshift out of my bear form, and so he speaks common.
Yes.
Okay. I won't kill you if you cooperate.
And he kind of moves closer to you and then poke you because he just saw you as a bear just a minute earlier. So he kind of pokes you, and then he thinks, and he says, "You powerful. You killed big ogre. Yes?"
I'm not. Yeah, I'm very powerful. And yeah, I did kill that ogre. It wasn't the first ogre that I killed. But let's go back to the task at hand. Do you hide any humans here?
He says, Snigbat don't hide any human. It's Gold Leader Hark. He hides humans.
He has the golden helmet.
Yes.
Okay,
You,
I thought so.
you here for Gold Leader?
Well, we have a gold helmet also. Didn't someone loot that? I'm pretty sure someone
I
did.
totally think someone.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. I threw it into the mass of goblins and told them to go away.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, I thought we looted it.
That would have been great.
Yeah. Yes.
You here for Gold Leader?
Maybe. Mostly for the humans. Maybe for the gold leader. How many other goblins are here besides the gold leader?
Many, and they all around him preparing a very, very secret trap. Yes, for you, for intruders. But you lucky because you found Snigbat. I can show you another way in. On one condition.
And that is?
You take Gold Leader helmet and you put it on Snigbat's head, and Snigbat is Gold Leader. Then he tells all the other goblins to stay away, and you take prisoners, and I am king.
Can we try? Can
That's not a problem. You can have the helmet.
Are we able to hear that conversation?
Yes, you're basically in the same cavern, so...
Okay. I'm gonna try to do like an insight check to see if I trust him to take us. Oh, nice! I got a 19.
Okay, so with a 19... Oh my god, I didn't bring my dice. Just a minute.
Alright.
Didn't bring his dice.
Yeah, but what kind of game is this? Like, I can't deal with this.
I
we
agree.
can't have that. Yeah, let's boycott this game. Game without dice. Like, no, I'm out. Sorry.
Yup.
Yeah.
Wait. No, I have a special, rigged dice for DMs.
Oh, right.
whoops,
Those
hello.
kind of dice, yes. Oh, I
Oh.
critted you again. I'm lucky.
They're always 20 dice.
Yes.
It's 19?
Yeah.
Or is it a 20?
No, 19,
It's a
almost.
19.
So, you think she's actually telling the truth, but you also think that she is hiding something. And I'm joking, that wasn't 19.
If it did, we need to start comparing the actual wisdom scores.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I ask her what's inside the other way around. What should we expect the other way?
it's a tube, and below the tube is a trap. It's Hark. It is how do you say it? A blob. Yes, it is a blob, and he listens to everything Hark says. So you need to drop down the tube and kill the blob. When you kill the blob, I will show you how to go to Hark's throne room. Then I take Gold Leader, you kill Hark, I am king, you take prisoners, and everything is good.
Couldn't we just kill Hawk if the blob is down a tube?
And when you when you say that, obviously that goblin didn't think through that much. So
Oh, really? I thought they were clever.
so she says.
They're known as being clever, aren't they?
So she says, no. If you go straight to kill Hark, he calls the blob, and the blob kills everything. It eats everything. It's a very, very dangerous creature. You have to kill it first, and then you have to kill King Hark.
But if King Hark is dead, then there's nobody commanding the blob. So nobody tells the blob to attack us.
And she says, yes. So, and then she kind of adjusts the helmet, and she picks up the spear, and then she goes back, kind of, toward the cave that she came through. Yes. This I just a minute, and then she turns around and
Wait. Oh.
and she's gone.
Okay.
What you
Oh,
can
good.
still do something if you really want.
I
She's with your back.
I
She's
Yeah,
with her
I'll-
back to you.
I'll say stop and pull out an arrow and shoot between her legs or next to her legs or something. Not trying to hit her, just to get her to stop.
So she kind of runs and then she stops and then the arrow kind of bolts between her legs and she looks down, she looks up and she looks to you and she says, "Is that your way of flirting?"
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, I really like you. You're pretty. Yes, very pretty. I like your helmet.
Yes.
And you have beautiful eyes.
Yes, everybody likes my big helmet.
Mm. Yes.
She adjusted.
I think I broke James.
A little bit.
Yes. Just tell us, where is this blob, and where is your King Hagen?
So she kind of almost points to the right direction and then she stops for a minute and then she says, "Hey,
Like,
the big blob is this way," and she points toward the southeast entrance or opening, and then she says, "No, that's southwest.
This one.
No, that's still southwest." It's this one.
You know how maps work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, the other
Oh, yeah,
west. No, the other west.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, southeast is here.
Oh, okay. Southeast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And you said it was down a tube.
So you can go into the cave, but then it will come to you because this is how King Hearts feeds it. But there is a tube from outside the cave that leads inside, and if you come that way, he won't expect you. It's clever, you see, I think.
Oh yes, and then after we have killed that, we need to go to the king really quickly, like so he so he won't notice that we have to run there really fast. So which way is that?
I can show you a sneaky way through the blob's room.
To the blob's room.
Yes. Once you kill
Isn't
it.
there a way? Isn't there a way around the blob's room?
Yes, of course. But why would you want to go around the blob's room if you want to kill it?
Well, we don't. That's the thing.
You don't?
Yeah. Well,
Not
are you
necessarily.
coming with us to kill the blob?
No, I will guard the exit from far away and watch you make sure that there is no blob, and then I can take you to King Hark. It's really the safest. You see, if you killed the ogre and the other goblin told me that you killed the other ogre too, I think you're powerful enough. The blob shouldn't be a problem.
Wait. Other
course
goblin
it
told
isn't.
you that we killed a... What other? Who told you what?
Well, what do you think? This is the place where all our tribe lives. Many goblins. This is why you want me to be the leader, the gold leader, because I can tell them to simply don't eat you. Or you can barge in and try to take out Hark, but he has the golden helmet. They will do anything he says.
How
Yes,
many
but
goblins are there?
A lot. Hundreds.
Oh.
Have any of you
That's a
guys
lot.
killed a blob before?
Nope.
Well, you know, you have a really good plan, but I think we could improve it. Like, some of us could sneak in the secret way, and some could come from the main entrance towards King Hagen, but we would need to know which way that is.
Well, if you really want to simply kill King Hark, it's that way. And she points to the cave that she came through. But I'm gonna tell you, when the blob lands on your head, it won't be a pretty sight.
I think we should kill this blob.
I think we should try to sneak in,
Well,
kill the
just-
gold leader, and
yes.
take the head for ourselves. and I'll put it on this one, and then we're
Yeah,
safe
neat.
from all the other goblins.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a moment, pretty goblin. What was your name again?
Snakebat.
Snakebat? Okay, yeah. And I'll like talk quietly with the group. So we want to kill a blob first? Or we want to go towards the king?
I want to kill the king.
It's
I want to
so
kill the
high.
king, but I'm worried that if we go straight for the king, we'll get ambushed by the blob.
But if we kill the king before the blob shows up, the blob will probably go amok and start killing the goblins.
It's possible.
Do we have a way to
Yeah.
rapidly kill a king? Who will be surrounded by many other goblins protecting him?
Well,
I don't know. Do we have anything ranged? I say like with my bow and arrow. Like I don't know how we could kill somebody from afar. I have no idea.
I could turn into like a swarm of insects to get near him and then just kill him. Typically, these goblins aren't very effective in combat. And, yeah.
Famous last words.
Typically.
Yeah, that's only 100.
Not
You
effective.
can take
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if we just surprise him and take him out in one round, then we're good, right? We kill him, we take the crown, the helmet, whatever, and then we are safe from the other goblins. I hope.
I do think killing the blob would be the best way, especially if we can get her to stop the other goblins from killing us when we kill the king.
I kind
But
of
I'm not
don't
sure.
trust her.
Yeah, neither do I. But like, she seems to like me. You know, everybody likes me.
Also, remember that last time it was that helmet issue. Whenever we killed the leader, the one next to him took the helmet and continued being the gold leader. So I don't think that killing the king there is going to be sufficient.
Where we kill the king and then we put on the helmet ourselves.
Then it means that you need to be right next to him.
Yeah. I mean, I can get right next to him as a swarm of insects, I hope.
Can you take the
Can-
gold helmet as a swarm of insects with you?
Well, no, but I can turn back. and
Swarm of
then take the
insects
helmet.
holding it.
Well, maybe I can do that too. Yeah.
But I'm not actually sure mechanically you can turn into a swarm of insects. That is like several creatures you would turn into instead of just one.
Yeah, but I read up on that at some
Oh, yeah,
point.
I
and
don't
think
know.
You can.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Can you imagine
anybody
a
have paints?
floating helmet full of hornets or something like that?
Yeah.
It's like
Oh my
the
God.
stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah, there is an old horror movie with like a lot of bugs that form like a creature, and then I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's just a lot of bugs, like flying bugs
Yeah.
that walks around as a man kind of, and then whenever it attacks, it just turns into these bugs.
Yeah.
It's horrible, yes. Entertaining, good.
Yeah, I've seen something.
Is there
like
any
that.
way to Is there any way to turn her red helmet into the gold helmet through like paint or minor illusion or something? Because that could cause some chaos.
We can try.
I don't have anything that can do that.
I do. I have.
You do?
I have the cantrip, the minor illusion cantrip.
Make her helmet gold, send her in, and revel in the chaos.
You know what? We can actually play that card. You know, several times. We can switch the helmet from different goblins several times.
Yeah, yeah. Inside the cave, if something goes like wrong, then just illusionary one of the other goblins helmet to gold and say, "Oh, that's the leader," and have them kill each other.
Then we don't have to do anything. We just take a step
Yeah.
back, we let them all kill each other, and then, loot whatever's left.
Okay.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, but let's kill the blob.
Kill the blob.
I think.
Let's
Yes.
kill the blob.
Really?
Yeah.
Kill the blob.
Yes.
I mean, can't we just, if our plan fails to assassinate the leader, can't we just go back and kill the blob then?
No, you'll
no,
have like
because
a
then
thousand
the
goblins.
goblin king controls the blob, and he's probably the only one that can control the blob.
Well, I'll
So
be
if
the
it's-
goblin
So
king.
but if we fail to kill him, then
Yeah,
he
but if we
knows
kill the
then we
goblin
know they're
king,
there.
and then we give the helmet to our nice goblin lady, she might choose to take the blob and kill us anyways.
But I don't
So-
think she can control the blob. I think only the king can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we go in and we kill the king before the blob kills us, the next king might use the blob to kill us anyways.
But I don't think it's the helmet that makes her able to control it.
And then when you
think
say that, you suddenly see Snigbat. She's kind of right below your elbow, and she kind of listens to all your plans. She kind of amazed.
Yes. So as I was saying, we're killing the blob, we're killing the king, and then we're giving the helmet to this lovely lady.
Yep,
That's
sounds
your
like a
plan.
plan.
Yes. So Snakebat, you charming lady, show us the way. Like you said, a secret entrance.
Okay.
Yes.
And she takes you out of the caves, and
Guys, I really don't want to fight a blob. I'd rather go in and assassinate him by myself. I think I can do it. Shouldn't be too hard.
I am very not stealthy.
I do, just like mechanically. If I were to one-shot the goblin, right, and it's a bonus action to get out of my form and get back to a regular form. Do I then still have enough like action left to put on the helmet, or is it then lying there?
if
Can you shapeshift into a goblin?
so if you
I don't think so.
just one shot killed him and he simply falls, you can definitely just pick up the helmet. As you know, his body is falling, the helmet is still in the air, right? It's all a cartoon, so you can simply take it and
That's physics.
yeah.
Guys,
Yeah, right.
Guys, I think I can do it. I can sneak in very easily and.
But
kill him.
again, don't forget, there's going to be someone else who's going to be able to cause a blob immediately, probably.
So then
You-
are we
you
splitting the
you
party?
think so?
Hmm.
You think so? I mean, I'm having the golden helmet on, and yeah, maybe someone else is controlling
And
the blob, but
Snigbat says, she looks at Zunis and she says, I think it's a good idea. When all the goblins try to kill this one, you can sneak and kill the blob. It's a good plan.
Yes, it is. And I'll
And
go with
when he's
I-
dead,
I-
they'll take some time to eat him, and in the meantime, you can sneak in. It's fine.
I turn around to her, but none of the goblins are going to kill me if I have the helmet, right? I give it to you after. I just need it for a moment.
And then, like, kind of her eyes turn into two narrow slits. You want to be the gold leader? You
Yeah, just for a second.
yes,
Just for a brief moment.
that's what they all say. They take the helmet, they never return it.
Well, actually, we did return it once. We already had
Yeah,
it.
I already
had it-
had the
we had
helmet
it yesterday.
once. We had it.
Okay, I mean,
I'll go and whisper to Sunis. I really think you should come with us to the blob. And if the blob turns out too dangerous, we'll retreat and then we'll all go after the king.
You think we can retreat from going down the
It's-
tube?
I think it's easier to retreat from the blobs than it is from like a pack of goblins shooting arrows at you.
Yes. How fast can a blob move? Like,
Yeah, really.
yeah.
Okay, but I'm not going first then. I don't want to fight it.
No, of course. And again, whispering. Of course, you're not going first. We have a big, stupid dragonborn to do that.
Okay.
Dragonborn, what? Somebody talking about me?
What? No. I didn't say anything.
Oh, alright.
I'll
That's
I'll
fine then.
smile. I'll smile at you. Give you a thumb up. Like, yeah. Don't worry.
Okay, I will follow the rest of the group while getting my rope out to prepare a getaway. Basically.
okay. So as I said, Snigbat, she takes you south outside of the cave, and then she circles it to the east, and she follows this small trail that climbs to the top of the hill, and then on top of the hill you can see several boulders and one leaning tree and three kind of openings, like rocky tubes that lead inside the cave. She leads you to one of it, to one of the tubes, and she kind of points down. And Jack Hands, when you kind of peek inside, you can see that it's large enough for maybe two people to kind of climb into, and you can see that its surface is rocky, but there are a lot of it looks like a sponge or something like that. A lot of holes, so obviously a lot of places to place your hands and feet. And it goes down. You think it goes down to the to the same level as the main cave, so something like 40 feet.
So not a beholder tube that we were trying to crawl into to kill a blob that is clearly a beholder. That I was looking forward to that. That second level. Come on, you could do it. Yeah, but we might need some rope.
Yeah, I will tie my rope around one of the trees.
Yeah, I think I actually have some silk rope and some hemp rope. Can't remember what's in my pack, but I think there's silk rope in there. 30 feet at least.
Okay.
But yeah, we should have enough rope.
as well.
Yeah, so we can just tie 2 ropes together and tie it to something up here. I assume there's something we can tie it to. And then have it reach all the way down.
There should be some trees.
Okay. So you tie the rope down, and it kind of curls down, and you can actually hear it. So the rope is what, 50 feet long?
Yeah.
At least.
At least.
So
So
it would be 60 feet if we tied 2 together.
Okay.
But we probably need like 10 feet up here to
Yeah.
tie it to something.
right. So
Yeah,
you can actually hear its edge. Its its other end kind of slams into the floor.
We would lower it quietly.
Oh,
down,
okay, no problem.
So not to allow anything
Right.
down there.
Okay.
I would at least.
So okay. So in this
is not
case,
this is not the first time that I've sneakily crawled in some place, other caves before. Like I'm experienced in sneaking into, caves when there are creatures guarding it, dangerous creatures. Not like Aemon or anything. I wouldn't like sneak past, guards or anything. But
Of course not.
they're not dangerous.
There's
yeah, they're clearly not dangerous.
Okay.
no reason to do that.
Right.
Okay, so the rope kind of is rolled down quietly, you think. Can you roll a stealth check for me?
Of course I can. Yeah, an 8. I'm super sneaky. 5. Yes,
Okay, so
trust me, I've done this many times.
Done this, yeah. Experienced in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'm not used to caves, or maybe it's more, buildings. Not that I would ever sneak into buildings.
Prisons, jail cells, that kind of thing.
Oh, those you sneak out of, not into.
Right.
Not that I would know. I have no
Of course
experience
not.
with that. No.
Okay.
And Eamon isn't here to say otherwise, so that's good.
So Sneakbat is looking at all of you, and she says, "Okay, so who goes first?"
I'll go first.
Very good.
Okay. And who goes second?
I'll go second.
Okay.
I'll go third.
I'll go last.
Okay. And Eileen and Elithir just simply stay up, looking at each other, kind of not sure what's going on.
Covers,
Yes.
I say.
Cover.
Okay.
Rhaegar, I'm going to give you a Bardric inspiration before you go down.
We might need that, yes. Especially if it's athletics. If it's climbing normally,
So-
yes.
Quick question before we go down. How far away is the room from, like, the temple room from this blob? Maybe under a minute?
So what room? I'm not sure I got it.
The temple room from the blob room, like how far away are we gonna have to go after we kill the blob?
Oh, she says it's like 1 minute. It's very close. There is a secret tunnel, and I can show you the way. It's very easy. It's
Does the blob know the secret tunnel?
I don't think so because let me actually think, because yes, obviously he knows, because that's the way he comes to the throne room. So it might be a little dirty and messy because the blob eats a lot, and we always have to clean after it, but I think it should be fine.
All right.
Okay, so as
Grab out of the rope.
you climb down, since you have a lot of places to kind of stick your hands and feet, I do need you to make a climb check, but you can make it with advantage.
Right on. Alright. With advantage, a climb check like acrobatics?
Athletics.
Athletics, yeah. Sadly.
Athletics? That's way better.
Yeah.
That's
No,
20.
no.
Okay, so you all see Forgar kind of disappear into the tube. I need Jackhans and Sunis to make the same check.
Yeah, I'm right behind him.
Okay.
Ooh, an 18.
Okay.
Nice.
That was a lot better.
Great.
Good thing it wasn't a disadvantage on that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Zunis.
And
And at
wait,
this
it's
point,
acrobatics, right?
no, athletics.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, but never mind. That's the roll is high enough.
Well,
So
I rolled a 3.
yeah, but it's with advantage because you have a lot of
Oh,
places to
Okay.
put your hands and feet. Now, Forgar, it's getting darker and darker as you descend this tube, and on one of the handholds that you found, you kind of stick your hand into one of these sponge-like holes, and then you can hear, and your hand kind of goes out full of this goo.
I think I found the blob.
Don't climb into the blob.
It's not my fault. He was hiding in a hole. Don't reach in this one.
Also, be quiet.
Right.
Stealthy.
Covered in chainmail. There's nothing quiet about me.
And Sneakbit kind of pops her head into the tube, and she screams, "Did you find it? Did you find it? Did you find it?"
I think so.
And she screams back. "I don't think so. I don't think so. Can't hear you screaming. You're not screaming. You didn't find it."
I just scream back. Ah!
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yes.
So, yeah, who has some light as soon as we get down here?
Okay, I got a torch.
Yeah,
As soon as we
Coin,
get down there, I'll
you
light
don't
a
have the
torch.
Coin, you have the light spell?
I don't have that.
Me neither.
Anybody have the light spell?
Nope.
You shake his head and say something
You're
about
muted, Avi.
Can I create a minor illusion to use a minor illusion of light, or is that not mechanically?
No, that
Working.
doesn't work this way. So let me get this straight. You went down a tube in complete darkness, and nobody has light, right? So
Yeah.
Okay. And
That's exactly what happened.
okay.
We are
I think
experienced,
technically
we're experienced
we have
adventurers. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So Sneakbat kind of shouts, "You need a light!"
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Okay. She throws down a burning torch.
That's good.
And the
Actually,
oil we are all covered in now goes up in flames.
Yeah. So Quarian, I need to make a dexterity check to grab it before it actually falls down.
Alright, I got a 19.
A 19. So you reach out and you grab it, the torch, and as you grab it, you kind of wave it around, and you can see that from all those tiny holes that basically are all around you, you can see black stuff is oozing out of these holes and kind of, floods the tube.
I screamed to Regard to just jump down, and everybody just jumped down.
Yeah. I continue down until I find the bottom.
Okay, so I need you to
There's
make.
a bottom, right?
I need you all to roll initiative, and then we can see who jumps down and when.
Oh, damn.
Got 12.
12 for Quarian.
16.
16 for Forgar. 21 for Renar.
And 4 for me.
And 4 for Zunis. Okay. That's nice.
Yeah, that sounds really good for us when the GM say, "Oh, this is good." Yeah.
It's those loaded fancy GM dice that he's got going on over there.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Oh, this monster has an initiative of 50. Like, oh, how did that happen?
Okay, so Renar, you can see this black ooze kind of coming out of those small tubes, and it starts to drip all over you. But you are first in the initiative order. What do you want to do?
Yeah, and how far is it down to the bottom?
You think you've passed something like half the distance, or maybe 20 feet more.
Okay, could I just quickly crawl the way, or climb the rest of the way down?
Yeah.
Maybe crawling over Quarian. No, not Quarian, Forgar. Just
So-
below me.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
can actually try to squeeze past Forgar. So make a dexterity check as you try to do that. I'm assuming that you try to avoid the black ooze.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, try that. 12.
Well,
Okay.
unless it's an acrobatics, then it's 2 more.
Okay.
It's still high. It's still super high. It's plenty. More than I
So
need.
what kind of armor are you using?
I have leather.
Leather. So as you try to descend, you kind of brush with your shoulder just this black droplet of ooze, and immediately you can hear your armor sizzling, kind of. And you look at it, you can see that this black stuff kind of eats it away. But your dexterity check was high enough to avoid contact, yourself. But your armor takes a -1 penalty to its AC.
Wow.
Okay, so it's completely destroyed.
Oh,
Leather armor only has 1.
okay. Yes.
So, okay, yeah.
So it kind of falls
don't-
apart.
Yeah, while I'm crawling down, probably just tearing off my leather armor to get the acid thing. Don't let it touch you. It's bad. It's bad.
Okay. And
You're
you.
like standing on my shoulders as you climb across.
I'm just using you as handholds.
Yeah.
Holding onto your tail to get the last
Yeah,
of the way
I'm
down.
like, that's my tail. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
I don't
I thought
hold
it
on to
was
your
rope.
tail.
And Forgar, once you let Renar kind of walk past you or crawl past you, and Renar is throwing its sizzling armor, it's your turn. Unless, Renar, you want to do anything else. You do reach to the bottom of the pit. And
I'll just use. I assume it's like difficult terrain, so it's 15 feet only. So I'll just use the rest of the 10 feet of movement I have or so when I get down to move a bit away, so it won't be anything falling down on me.
okay, but you do recognize.
Or other party members.
Yeah. So you do. Let me just reveal that area, just for fun. Yeah. So you can see this now, and
So I probably move there or so.
yeah.
Unless there's a huge ooze creature there.
And yeah. So yeah, the thing is that you
Oh.
do.
That's
Yeah.
a gobble.
That. So indeed, in the middle of this room, let's say, there is this, how do you call, we have a stalagmite and a stalactite, I'm not sure about.
Stalagmite punch up, stalactite down.
Right, so this is a stalagmite.
Might.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, which is also is you know, full of holes and everything, and you have a bad feeling about this structure. So as you kind of land, you look at it, and there's something's, you know, off. Something is wrong here. But this is what you see, and it's Forgar's turn. So Forgar, what do you do?
I am going to. I want to climb down the rope, and I also want to cast Wrathful Smite.
Okay, so I need you to make the same dexterity check to avoid touching any of this black ooze thingy as you cast your spell and descend the tube.
13.
So a 13 is good enough for not directly touching this ooze, but it does touch your armor.
Rawr.
And your armor is plate armor, right?
Chainmail.
Okay, so you take -1 penalty to its AC as you descend, and your armor kind of sizzles too, as it comes with contact with the black ooze.
Okay.
And you smite what?
No, I'm just casting Wrathful Smite. It's a bonus action. Next time I hit someone with a melee attack, it does stuff.
Okay, great. So you also reach to the bottom of the tube, and you also see this structure in the middle of it, and you kind of think, uh-oh. And then you all realize why you feel bad about it, because basically what happens is that all this black material coming out of the sponge-like walls of the tube kind of burst into the tube like a shower of black goo. And Quarian, you're basically in the middle of all of this, and it coalesces into this huge blobby droplet of black stuff, and then it drops directly on that stalagmite.
Oh crap.
And when it does, it kind of gets sucked into the stalagmite and develops kind of like 2 legs and a lot of tendrils coming out of it. So it's like this black ooze with armor standing in the middle of this room and sending tendrils anywhere. Now, Quarian, let's talk about you for a minute. So I need to make
formerly known as Quarian.
So now I have a scene in head, but I really hope it doesn't come into being. So I needed to make a dexterity check as this thing is basically all around you.
So I'm still up in the tubing as well, by the way.
Yes, correct.
I have a total of 17.
A 17 is good. So you basically kind of rock and roll on the rope, trying to, you know, trying to avoid getting directly hit by one of those. I don't know. I don't have a good way of describing it. Like, you know,
geysers.
Yeah, like horizontal geysers of black stuff. And actually, 2 of them are trying to hit you. So all this blob that is coming down with its tendrils kind of try and slam you. So the first one hits only 7. The second one hits a 10, a total of 10. So I'm assuming, yeah. So I'm assuming you even managed to kind of avoid 2 tendrils, and then
you're like Neo from the Matrix.
Exactly. Like you kind of wave, and then all this thing basically lands on the heads of Forgar and Jackhins. Splat. Okay, Quarian, it's your turn. You kind of look at yourself. The scene I had in mind is that it basically engulfs you and leaves a skeleton on the rope. But my rigged dice didn't work, so
I'm still on the rope, right?
Yes, you and Zunis are still on the rope.
Okay. Zunis, are you like under me on the rope?
I think I'm under you.
Zunis is, I think it's, no, you're the third Zunis, so Quarian, yeah, under you, sorry.
Yeah. So okay.
And Zunis, you are basically protected by Quarian, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to wait, let me just check if this can work. A second. By any chance, do I think that sleep can work on this stuff?
You don't think so.
All right. Let me just check something then. Okay. I'm going to try to climb down over Zunis, just so I can be in range. That blob is right beneath me, right?
So it dropped like 20 feet into the cave, so it's 20 feet under you.
Okay, I'd like to like go down but not drop into it.
Okay.
Is that possible?
Yes. So you can basically climb down and stay on the rope. Now, since all of it kind of oozed down, the walls of the tube are ooze free, so you can simply go down, no risk.
Okay, so in that case, maybe I can just stay inside the tube holding the rope. I'd like to cast Thunder Wave on it in a way that wouldn't hurt my friends. Is that possible? It's like a 3-foot cube from me outwards. And,
I like that idea. Let's not hit me.
So you can try to do that. Think about it this way: Thunder Wave in a tube, so you're kind of blasting like, you know, inside of a rifle. So that could have an interesting effect. But go ahead and try.
I have a feeling I'm going to be shot out the other way now. I'm gonna try it. Okay, so that creature needs to do a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, what is the DC?
13.
Okay, so you basically shoot like in a shotgun barrel. You kind of explode that thunder wave downward, and save-wise, it managed to he rolled high enough, but the force of this explosion basically flattened it on the ground, so its heads kind of retracted back into its shell, so it on his
Awesome.
Yeah, he's basically sitting on the cavern floor, shocked. He will take damage though, I think.
Okay, so it's an 8.
An 8.
Nice. Rolled the max.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, he managed to save, right?
Yeah.
So it's just one dice. Okay.
Okay, but I need you and Zunis to make dexterity checks to avoid shooting out of the tube, as the recoil basically.
Okay, it
I'm
seems that I'm
super-
getting shot out. I got
I'm
a 7.
super clumsy. I got an 8.
Okay, so Snigmat, Eline, and Elithia simply watch you kind of poof, kind of fly out of the tube, still holding the rope.
Hey, don't run away! Don't run away!
So you fly out, and we'll see what happens when the rope kind of stretched to its full height as you. Yeah. Okay, Zunis, it's your turn. So you are airborne.
Yeah. I try to prepare for impact.
Okay.
Is there a hold action for that or something?
Okay, so you brace for impact. Renar.
Yep.
Yes. I will use my bow and take. Oh, well, Forgar, it seems like it's just you and me. And then I'll
So-
shoot it. Like just shoot an arrow at it.
An arrow. Okay.
Yes. Well, Forgar is Forgar close enough to it? Within 5 feet? He's not, right?
No, I put myself on the side you were at.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, then I'll wait and say, "Go on, Forgar, we got this," and I'll just ready a shot for when Forgar gets next.
No, that's
I
fine.
like
You,
it.
Sit there
So y-
poking my ears as they ring from that thunderclap. Like, oh man.
So I positioned it. I positioned it in a way that it is more favorable, and actually
All
described how it actually is. So yes, I think you can. Should work.
Right.
So I think I'll need my sneak attack.
Okay.
So yeah, 24 to hit and 14 with the sneak attack.
Okay.
If it, unless it has something resistance to piercing.
So as you kind of, oh, so it's piercing.
Yes, all of it is piercing, including the sneak attack.
Okay, so piercing should be fine.
Good. I only have piercing. So
Okay, so the arrow kind of vanishes into one of the tubes that cover this creature's shell, and then all you can hear is this splunk. But you think you've hurt it, so damage.
yeah, 14 in all.
14. Okay, that's actually very good. Forgar.
Yeah, I rolled high.
I am still trying to, get my bearings back after somebody threw lightning or threw thunder in the middle of this tiny thing right at me. But I want to grab out a javelin and I want to try and stab at that thing.
Okay.
Damn, that's 22.
22 works. Now let me just check something to make sure I'm not missing anything. Weapons 6. Okay. Okay, great. We are fine. So your is a javelin, right? A javelin
Yeah.
is also piercing.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is piercing.
All right.
Awesome. So I think you rolled high enough to actually hit it.
Yeah, my 20-something
piercing.
hit it.
Yeah. So you kind of work your way into one of its holes. Do you want to leave the javelin there, or are you going to pull it back? Let me know.
I think I'm gonna pull it back.
Okay. So damage.
All right, so it's 5 piercing damage, and then my Wrathful Smite kicks in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna do another 4 psychic damage. And then the blob has to succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be frightened. Spell DC's 13.
Okay, so your javelin sticks in, and when you pull it out, you can see that its edge kind of sizzles and loses its metallic tip. And
Yep.
when you channel your power, you have a feeling that this creature is immune to being frightened.
Fine.
Yes.
That was gonna be so awesome, scaring it all the way to the goblin main
And
tower room or
that would've-
whatever.
and at this point, it basically sports out kind of a lot of tendrils. 2 of them stick into the tube above and lift him. So all you can see is this web of tendrils, and in the middle, the stalagmite shell. And then it kind of flaps 2 tendrils, one at you and one at Jackhens.
I would like to hide behind the Dragborn, like just hold onto its tail and cover behind it, like use it.
I will flick you with that tail.
Okay, so no, I need to use a straight surface. Okay, a 1, amazing. So Forgar, you kind of flick Jackhens forward. And
Hey, how do we go on here?
yes, and Jackhens a 17.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that hit.
So the flick you actually got from
Yep, you just
Forgar.
got pushed. Yeah, I got pushed into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take that is 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
that didn't hurt at all. I barely felt it.
So how are you? How do you feel?
I feel confident that I can survive maybe a half a hit more.
And you
I have 8 hit points left.
and you don't have an armor, right?
No.
Okay,
not at all.
so that pod basically latches itself into your skin, and you can hear Forgar. You can hear Jackhan's sizzling, and he takes 14 more points of damage, and this is acid damage.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't hear it sizzling. He hears me screaming, and then he hears me stop screaming, and then maybe he'll hear the sizzling from my corpse.
I look down at you and are like, stupid weaklings.
You pushed me into it.
You tried to cower and hide.
No, I was strategically placing myself in an advantageous situation. Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, now Quarian, you're still airborne. Do you have like a Jedi trick to return exactly to the tube, or
How airborne are we? I mean, how far do we go?
Just say yes.
To the rope.
Just say yes.
No, nothing short of dexterity.
Okay, so make a dexterity check, and let's say that if you go past 15, you can kind of wiggle yourself straight into the tube. If you fail, if it's okay.
I got an 18.
Okay, awesome. So you kind of roll down, you pull the rope with you, and you kind of swoop straight into the back into the tube. Now I need Zunis to make the same check before I'll allow you to actually do the. So you can see the wall of the the face of the hill coming to meet you, and kind of Quarian kind of turns and do this before.
But clearly Sunis would have advantage because Quarian is dragging the rope in the right direction.
So I'm not sure because there's this, this movement of the rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to save at least half the party here.
How high up were we?
Quite high, quite high.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was trying to get as much air resistance as possible. So make myself very big to kind of
Superman landed.
and then I would do a tumble as I hit the ground.
Oh,
and
so
hopefully...
I missed your.
Actually, no,
I missed
don't
your
think
5.
I would do the tumble.
I missed your 5. Okay, I didn't. I was waiting for the number to come up, but and it was okay. So
what I hear you describing is I'll make myself as large as possible and then land on my stomach flat, like face down.
So
that could be the case.
It's even
It'll
worse.
blow up the ooze.
It's even worse than this because Quarian, as you kind of grab the rope and whoosh into the tube, you suddenly kind of stop dead set, because Zunis pancaked into the hill, and Zunis, you take 11 points of damage from crashing headfirst into the cave, into the hill surface, and then Quarian's weight is basically dragging you, so you kind of
Yeah. Okay, I'm still alive though. I made it, no problem.
So you also kind of raise a thumb like this, and Eileen and Elithir are just looking at all of this unable to even do something. Okay, so you are both back hanging on the rope. What do you do?
Hey, look at Zunis and ask him if he's ready for another one.
Sure, man. No problem.
you hear Quarian do. Okay, so Quarian, it's still your turn. What do you want to do?
Okay. Do I see the ooze? Like it's still beneath us, right?
Yes, and now you can see this web of tendrils that holds it in place.
Okay. I feel like the only thing that I can still do is either that or like try to shoot an arrow at it. And do I see that Rhaegar is falling?
Who's
That Renar is falling. Do I see that he
yes,
died?
Renner, he is on his face, sizzling, and Forgar is basically looking at a javelin that has lost, some of its edge. Forgar, mechanically you lose, you take a -1 penalty to damage rolls, and
Okay.
when it comes to -5, it destroys. It is destroyed.
Right on. I'll write that down.
Okay. Wow, I honestly don't have anything else to do. Can Zinus like hold himself not on the wall, not on the rope, like on the wall to avoid being shot out again?
Yeah, you can brace yourself in a certain way. You probably will require some strength check, but you can definitely try it.
Okay. I brace myself to get catapulted out again, and yeah.
I plugged my ears.
Okay, I'm going to go again. I'm going to shoot him again with the thunder wave.
Okay.
I really don't have anything else that I can do here.
Okay. Shoot. I need to make a constitution check again, right?
Right. 14.
Okay.
Should I throw? How much damage? Should I throw both dice or just one?
Both dice. I rolled a 10.
Okay. Okay, so this is just 9 damage this time.
Wait. 9. Okay.
And it should get pushed down like 10 feet.
Okay, so you rip all the tendrils and it simply slams down into the wall, into the surface again. So it kind of try to regain its footing. And I need you and Zulis to make strength checks with advantage because you kind of braced yourself.
Got a 9 total.
14.
Okay, so Zulis, you look at Quarian as he kind of...
Okay, I made it. That's good.
I'm good. Okay, Quarian,
By the
so...
way, James, don't forget I gave you like the Bardic Inspiration, so you can use that when you hit or if you want to hit.
So as he flies out,
I
you can
want
hear
to
him.
hit, yeah.
Bardic Inspiration!
Yep. Use the force.
We haven't
Yes.
needed it so far. Well, unless we could do it for like extra protection, like not get hit. That would have been useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Zunis.
if you weren't such a coward and hid behind me, it would have been easier.
Sure, like a 17. Like no matter what, that wouldn't have hit me. No, not at all.
Zunis, your turn.
Okay, still holding myself
Yes, but
on the stone wall.
yeah, no rope this time. Quarian has it.
Yeah, no rope. I will use one of my hands to shoot down poison spray on
Oh.
the blob,
Okay.
hopefully hitting it. It's a DC 12 Constitution save.
Okay. Failed. Can't roll today.
And it it takes 2 damage.
Okay. Every point counts. Okay, so you kind of shoot your poison spray and it oozes around this shell and touches the creature. It bubbles for a while, but then it stops. Renar, first death saving throw, I assume.
Yes. Yeah. I'll just roll a 20. No problem. I got this. Ooh. well, that was.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Almost a 20.
Almost
like
a
just-
20.
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh,
the 20 is
okay.
on the other side.
Yeah,
So
Oh, God.
yeah. So Forgar,
yeah,
you
just face down.
you can basically see, you know, the inner parts of Jenkins kind of try and they escape his rib cage.
He come outside.
Yeah, from the holes that this creature. Okay, that's sad.
It's
Forgar,
just the acid. It's just the acid going out. Maybe a few internal organs. It's fine.
I can live without my spleen. That's
Yeah.
nobody.
What needs that?
Like a lung. I have 2 lungs. I don't need 2.
Exactly.
Okay, Forgar.
So if I lay of hands on him, will that stabilize or bring him up?
It will
Or do I
bring him
have
up.
to do like a
It'll
medicine
bring-
check first?
No, no. It'll bring me up if you heal me.
Yes.
Like even 1 point would bring me up.
Yes.
Alright, well then I guess I'll give you 5. With
Okay.
my lay of hands, I'll reach down. Somehow
Okay.
making fun of you for being so weak.
I'll scream in pain at you.
So you kind of you lay hand while you know pulling together his
Putting his inside back in.
and then
This one I think goes there. This one I think comes up here. Oh no, that one for sure goes over here. Lay a hands, heal, damn it. Inside, back inside.
Okay, great. So as you were working on the entrails of Jackhands, this creature kind of snuck up on you from behind and sends his pseudopods to hit you.
Alright.
So the first one is a 1. Damn it, what's going on? The second one is a mere 15.
Nope.
Okay, so you kind of dodge out of its way. Amazing.
Pulling Jenkins with me as I dodge.
Yeah.
It does-
So the
Yeah, I'm really thankful that the second one would totally have hit me again.
so that the thunder wave kind of rattled this creature. It can't hit anything. It just shoots randomly. Okay. Quarian, you are airborne again. And you can see Snigbat kind of looks up at you and says, "Do this."
I scream, catch me, catch me, catch me, catch me. Ooh,
She jumps in.
you got 11 for dexterity.
11. Okay. So splat on the heel surface for 8 points of damage. Do you get up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So
barely, right?
it's kind of, and then you like exactly like in the cartoons, right? Kind of turn into a pancake and then pop out and do this. Okay, so you are on your feet after crashing down. What do you do?
The entrance.
Yeah,
I'm at the entrance of the pipe, right?
right.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to like go down the rope again. Yeah, pretty much.
With the rope.
With the
Right?
I'm
rope.
gonna check the rope first to make sure that it doesn't clear down.
Tink, tink.
Okay, and then I'm gonna jump inside again,
Okay.
and I'm going to hold myself like on the walls and try and use my bow and arrow to try and shoot that thing.
Okay, great. Do that.
I missed.
Okay.
Got an 8.
Okay, so
Thanks for your help.
yeah, an arrow sticks next to your feet, Forgar. Zunis.
Hey!
How close are Forgar and Jenkins to the to the
5 feet.
creature? Are they within 5 feet?
Yeah, too close.
Yes.
Yeah, that is indeed too close. In that case, I am going to shoot another poison spray down there.
Okay.
So it's another Constitution save, DC 12.
This time I managed.
Okay. So yeah, I shoot down some poison, but maybe it's immune now to the poison or something.
Still
And
does some antibiotics.
I tried to hold on to the rope again.
Okay. Great. So we're back to Renard.
Yes. This cave entrance I'm standing behind in me, like, does it go back?
So you think you're talking about the eastern.
Yeah.
So you think this is the secret way that Snigbat mentioned?
I might want to crawl like just a few 10 feet in there or something like that.
Okay.
Just a step or two, you know.
Yep. So
And
you think it curls back. So to a U-turn, and then it probably goes down under the main hallway. This is what you think.
I still want to be able to like see the creature, but get a bit further away from it.
Okay, you do that.
If possible.
Yes, you can.
And then I want to shoot an arrow at it again.
Shoot.
Yes. Hopefully. Oh yeah, 21.
Oh, cool.
And
Nice.
9 points of damage.
Cool.
I can shoot arrows, but currently I can't take a hit.
So
Did you get the sneak attack?
That was
yeah.
with it.
That's including the damage.
Oh, okay.
great. So another arrow kind of disappears within the creature, and you can see it kind of shakes for a moment. So you definitely hurt him, but it's still standing.
Yeah, I almost hurt it as much as it hurt me.
Forgar.
Alright. I guess I am going to Divine Smite this thing. I'm gonna stab at it with my broken javelin.
Okay. Don't forget the -1 penalty to
Yep.
damage rolls.
Perfect. That's a really crappy roll. Does a 13 hit it?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, so
So your javelin kind of clinks again against its shell, but then you find an opening and.
nice. So the javelin does 4 damage, and then the Divine Smite is radiant damage, and it does 9.
So 13. Okay, very good. So now parts of the shell are cracked, and the bits of it kind of fall to the ground, so they expose more of it, and it kind of focuses on you and then slaps you with one of its black tendrils, and
Alright.
it hits AC. What's going on? That's 14.
Miss.
You're looking so sad. Like, oh, I really want to kill it. Like, my wife is sick, my kid is sick,
And
I
my
have to take
monsters
it out of
can't
someone.
hit. Yeah.
No. But now my life is shit. I have to make my players feel like shit. Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, kill them all.
That's the way to feel happy, right? I mean.
Why do I think I'm the DM all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to avoid this creature's bite. Amazing. Quarian.
Okay, I'm gonna try and shoot it again. And again, nothing.
Nothing.
I'm going to change my dice now.
Okay, how much did you roll, just for me to know?
It's an 8.
An 8. No, an 8 doesn't hit. Okay.
No.
And we are back to Zunis.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Wait, do I have to be in range for Cure Wounds? How far? You touch,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
so I have
so,
to
yeah.
drop down, yeah. No, I don't want to drop down. And from up here I can only shoot Ice Knife and Poison Spray, and Ice Knife
Ow.
would probably kill
Ow.
one of you, so I'm going to Poison Spray again.
Okay.
Well, Forgar hasn't been hit yet. He's fine.
Hey.
And I failed the check again.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm hitting it for...
It's like death by 1,000 cuts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 hit point.
Oh,
One,
yeah, and
one,
11.
one. What? 11 hit? 11 hit points?
Yep, 11 damage.
Okay, that's actually very good. Okay, so it kind of retracts some of its tendrils, so you think it's very, very close to dying, but not just yet. Renar.
I would like to bring it like really, really close to dying. Like, actually, you know, all the way there
Okay.
with my
It's not
bow.
a bad idea.
No, I'll do my best. That's 14 to hit, but sadly only 6 points of damage.
Okay. So your bow and its arrow again slips into the creature. You can see it shaking again, and then it falls on the ground and it oozes out of its shell, bubbles up a bit, but then turns into this oily substance. It's gone.
Oh, so
Oh,
good
okay.
enough. Yeah, well, who needs to roll high? Just need to roll enough.
I do a tiny dance, trying to not let it touch my toes. Not
Yeah.
happy.
Anybody have like a cloak or something? I think my clothes is kind of ruined here. Like, just bare chest full of scars. Like, hey, what's this part? That's not supposed to be there.
Still sticking
Oh,
out.
that's where I healed you. You needed that part, right?
Yes.
The part of the
thank
shell.
You. Thank you for that. Also, thank you for pushing me towards that.
It
Coward.
worked.
Yes, it worked. I distracted it.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's never do that again.
Never.
Ever.
I agree.
What did I miss?
We killed it. I killed it. Like, you know, as I do.
Sweet revenge.
Yes.
Somebody gonna yell up to that goblin up there? Which way do we go?
And
I think it's funny that I'm going to mention it, but I really need to rest now.
I could use a bit of like, you know, healing. Maybe if someone have it. Like, if anybody have know any way to repair this, and I bring this
Can-
like pile of half the soul.
If we
Like
take a
a
short
trap.
rest, I can give you like an extra d6 hit points. But if you spend a hit dice, I
Yeah.
can give you an extra 1d6 hit points.
Song of rest, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But do
so-
we really want to rest here?
Maybe on the top. We climb back out that rope. But if we're gonna rest, we might as well make it a long one.
8 hours rest? No.
Yes.
Oh,
that-
if we do that, we're gonna need to do it outside of the cave, and
Yeah.
it might be useful because I don't have any more spells for today.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
No,
I think a short rest would be sufficient for me.
Okay, so you wanna
Give up a bit.
take a short rest?
I mean, it's the middle of the day, right? Would a long
Yeah.
rest
Yeah.
make sense right now?
We could like,
Okay.
Probably
up
not
on
in
it
a
and
cave
down.
full of goblins. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you guys are
Snigbat
about to see me fighting with a rapier, which is sad.
Snigbat climbs down the chimney, and she looks at your hands works, and she kind of nods in appreciation, and she says, "Well, that's one problem gone."
Yes, I no longer have any armor that was so heavy to wear.
She says, "Armor."
Yeah. Do you have mending, Corin?
No, I don't.
Totally useful. No light spell, no mending.
I used to be a much more useful wizard.
Yeah.
You don't need any of this. All you need is a golden helmet.
I turn her
Yeah.
helmet into gold.
And she looks up when you touch it, and she removes it, and her eyes go wide. I'm gold leader. I'm gold leader, and she puts it in, and she bolts straight into
Wait.
into the eastern
man.
into the eastern cave, straight at you, Jack Hens. She
Yeah,
kind of
I try to like catch her weight.
so you
Like
you
stop her.
you catch her, and through the collar, her feet kind of
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. It was a trick. You don't really have a golden helmet.
Oh, you ruined my joke. Are you serious?
And she kind of looks up at her helmet and she says, "Yes, I do."
I turn it back into red.
Oh.
Alright, let's take a short rest and then I'll turn it to gold again.
Yeah.
She-
Let's wait an hour. Then we can go
Right.
kill the Kagan, whatever the king was.
Hark.
Arc. So, Morton, I gave you like an extra 4 hit points. Anybody else needs wants to
Are you getting hand-delivered coffee over there?
What? No, I don't get hand-delivered coffee. I get hand-delivered coffees and cookies.
Oh my
Ooh.
god. Oh. You rule, man. Get and deliver diapers, maybe. Toilet paper. Okay. So you rest for a while Snigbet is basically examining her helmet, looking through all directions to see how it turned back to red again. And when you are ready, she is willing to lead you through that eastern tunnel. Basically curls in a U-turn and goes straight under the main hallway.
While we're resting, can I ask a question about like the layout of the room? Does this king have like a throne he normally sits on?
Yes.
There's a
Personal
giant pile of
bodyguards?
these.
So
Like the
she
lead guard?
she says basically she kind of leads you to this area. There's a small chimney here.
Wait, to which area?
This.
Yeah.
Wait. No. Wait. This.
Do the shift and click.
Hey.
And there's this chimney you crawl up from, and you can see this boulder that lies to block the corridor, and she points at the boulder and says that the ooze, the blob was able to seep through the cracks, but basically this is the king's treasure room. And indeed, you can see a pile of kind of rubble in the middle and one chest that just sits there on the floor.
Well, we better make sure that everything is in here before we move on. Like that
Definitely.
nobody has stolen anything from it.
Right.
So I would like to check the chest for traps.
Okay, roll.
Investigate it. So 23.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's not trapped and it's not locked.
Okay. Well, then I open it.
Okay.
I watch him as he opens it.
So
I take a
inside,
step back.
So creepy. That sounds so creepy. I watch him at yeah, look at that box. Yeah, just like that.
so you kind of find 12 gold pieces and some change, something like an additional 55 silver pieces, and obviously this coin was taken from prisoners or something like that. You can also see a matching pair of silver, salt, and paper shakers. Do you also think that this is probably something looted from a family, maybe one of the prisoners? You can see a blood-stained leather case, and inside it you can find a complete set of thieves' tools.
Hey.
And next to it you can... Yes, what?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. And next to it you can see a holy symbol of Sylvanus. And it's carved from wood and inlaid with gold. And in addition to all that, you find a small marble. But when you kind of hold it up, you can see something smoky swirls inside of it.
Crystal ball.
I'll hand that to Corian.
leave this be, Jenkins. It
no, we
probably
should.
belongs to the refugees.
Yeah, yeah, we should give them back to the refugees. And I'm being honest here. I'm not trying to steal
Okay.
anything.
Do we
Okay.
need to do an insight check to believe you?
You can, but I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
I'm going to wrap
I'm-
the marble inside something.
Okay, and then Snigbet says that the corridor to the north leads to King's Hark throne room, and he has two very capable bodyguards and a host of giant rats that he keeps as pets. But as soon as the golden helmet is within reach of Snigbet, she says that his bodyguards will do nothing, and the rats, they were trained to follow Hark, so when he dies, they will simply do nothing.
I
That's
ask her
really-
what happens. What happens if his helmet stops being gold?
She says that the nearest goblin will probably try to take control of the tribe, and then she says that they are very strong, so it will be difficult for her to be queen if you do that. But
Well,
if you put the golden helmet on her head,
Yes,
she's the smartest of the tribe, so
Of course, yeah. And you know what, Snakebat? I think you should go ahead, run up to the king, and say that Avengers are attacking, and then point to the direction we're not coming from, and tell the king to send the guard there, and then stay near the king to protect him. You know, protect him. Don't actually protect him. Just pretend to protect him. And then we will kill the king, and then you'll be right next to him to pick up the helmet as soon as he dies. Just get ready to pick it up.
she kind of stands there, with her, slack-jawed, just digesting this majestic
Yes.
plan.
Yeah. So like, tell me again what you're going to do. Like, just to make sure that she actually understands and don't go in there like, oh, the adventure's coming, they're right behind me. Like, get ready. Try with them.
So you
Guys, by the way, I think you all should stay back a little bit and let me try to handle it. I think I can follow her without being noticed, and maybe I can handle the Goblin King on my own.
Well,
If
you
I don't, then
try that.
you.
But I
come.
would like her to be near and maybe be able to draw some of the goblins away before we attack.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. She repeats the details of the plan correctly. You feel that you got to her, so it's fine. So when you are ready, she kind of forces the boulder just a little bit so she can pass through, and you can hear her screaming inside that throne room that adventurers have killed.
Oh, no, wait. But before she's going, I turn into a swarm of insects. Let's see, maybe what kind of insects do we have in this cave? Maybe
Wasps.
probably not wasps, right? What do we have?
I gotta use the washroom. I'll be right back.
What kind of animal insects do we have right here? Maybe like roaches or something?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so I turn in a swarm of those, and I will follow her.
Okay. So you see her, and I will reveal that area. Basically, she crawls to this room, and you can see her going up to King Hawk. He's sitting on his straw and rubble throne, and she screams that adventurers are killing the blob, and he immediately points to his two bodyguards who do look intimidating, and they leave the cave. Whoops and whoops. Leaving you with the king and the rats.
And as soon as the guards leave the room, I will try to kill the king. Yeah, I crawl onto him and try to, I don't know, what do cockroaches do? Can they bite or something?
Scare people to death. Just one of them is enough to
Yeah.
to bring down
No, it's like it's like a whole swarm. Okay, so I'm just swarming him and I'm biting him.
Okay.
And it's 16 to hit.
16 to hit actually doesn't hit his armor class.
But you should have advantage. Since if you he should be surprised by a swarm. coming
Okay.
to
Oh,
attack.
it should be a little bit. Okay.
Okay, let's roll with that. So
Okay, let's see. And
That's even
roll.
better. Yes, great. Just waste those rolls.
yeah, you can see I can't be blamed for you know. Okay, so
Good
he
plan.
he
Let's sit around here and have coffee while he takes care of it.
he shrieks
Great idea.
and command his mice, his rats, to basically start gnawing on you.
Oh no.
Oh no, yes. So they all kind of do this, which is neat. Okay, and you can roll initiative if you want.
Let's do this.
Oh. Okay, I'm last on initiative. I got a 1.
Oh, I'm high right now.
It's a 4, but it's a 1.
Okay.
This time I'm not last.
An 18.
Okay, Forgar with an 18.
Yeah.
Quarian with 4.
I've got an 18 as well, but probably lower dex.
Okay, so Zunis.
11 for Reynar.
Right now, 11, and a goblin and his. Oh, that's high. I rolled a natural 19, but let's see if
Oh.
I have any dexterity. Wait,
Probably 1 or something.
I think they have a +2.
+2. Yeah,
Yep,
so
yeah.
that's a 22 for the boss.
Or 21.
21.
Why did I put my 8 into dex, by
That's
the
hard.
way?
Okay.
It sucks so much
So,
to have the 8 in dex.
Keenan, do you have the stats for the swarm?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, so King Hawk shrieks, Briok! Which you all recognize as the goblin for We Surrender, and then he attacks. Okay, so Zunis, he basically looks at you as a swarm and start using his rapier to, you know, with his flat side to basically squash as many of you.
I have 12 AC.
Okay, so he makes 2 attacks.
Yeah.
The second attack has a disadvantage. So the first scimitar attack is a, it is a 15.
That's a hit.
And the second one with a disadvantage is bad. So we'll simply disregard it. So the first hit deals a whopping 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And now let's see what happens with the rats. Rats.
Ooh, there's a lot of them.
That's a lot of rats.
Yeah.
Rats.
2, 4, 6 of them. Damn.
How fly can you fly as a swarm, Dennis?
Let's see.
It's a lot of opportunity attacks.
That's true.
Yeah.
A giant rat. Okay, so I found it. So that's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of
Oh,
them.
I have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing though. So
In
only
swarm
2
form.
damage, right?
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
Okay, great.
Okay, so they have advantage on their rolls because you are very, very close. So they all try to bite you. So the first one with advantage, it's at modified 20. So you take, that's a 5 points of damage.
Okay, so 3 because I have resistance probably.
You count
against
it. The second one is a 15 unmodified, which only
Hits.
one point of damage. 3 more to go. 18 unmodified for a 6. 2 more to go. That's a 15 unmodified for another 6. And the last one doesn't hit you.
Okay. I'm assuming all of that was piercing or slashing damage or
It's
something?
a piercing damage.
Okay.
Now the shouts.
I'm just gonna go take on the boss by myself. I'm so badass. Nobody can help me.
And the shouts of the king, you can probably hear it's lieutenants. They kind of spin back and run, but they don't reach this round at least. So okay, so this is the goblin. Forgar and Zunis. Zunis, you're closer, so if you want to do something. But Forgar is first. So Forgar, yeah, sorry for being ambiguous.
Alright. I guess I'm going to move out of the little hole that I'm in over here
Okay.
and attack something.
Okay, so you push the boulder easily and rush
Okay.
forward to attack a rat or a king or
5,
whatever.
10, 15, 20, 25. Can I make it all the way? Hold on. At a 30 movement. Can I do that?
I think so, yeah.
Right
Yeah,
on.
seems
1,
like
2,
it.
3, 4. Yeah, no problem.
And then I'm going to attack that rat I'm in front of with my war pick. Does a 17 hit?
17 definitely hit.
Right on. It does. Damn. 10 damage.
10 damage. One rat is gone.
Cool.
Amazing.
Damn.
Great.
Zunis, you're up.
Okay, I'm still trying to bite the king. Or am I?
Maybe.
I only do half damage at this point, I think, because I've lost half my HP.
Wow.
Like the swarm does less damage then. So no, I think what I'm going to do is I'll turn back into I almost said human form, but I'm not human. In
Humanoid.
yeah, into the humanoid fish thingy that I normally am, and I
Fish
try
thing.
to rip his helmet off his head.
Okay. Make a dexterity check as you simply try to grab it. And it
Oh,
will
I'm
be
so bad at
opposed. Okay. He will also try to use his dexterity. So you kind of reach out, and he realizes that you try to take his helmet, but he's too slow. So you play this game of who goes first, and then his helmet is gone.
Okay, great.
And miraculously, Sneakbat is kind of, she pops into being just next to you and kind of looks at you with big eyes.
Oh yeah, if she's next to, I actually do put it on her head.
Okay. And at this point, his two guards reach into the cave, and then there is a moment of awkward silence as Sneakbat is holding the helmet, and then she kind of looks around. She looks at her past king and at his lieutenants and at all of you, and then she says, "Snakebat King, nobody moves." And kind of Hark is standing there, and his rats are standing there, and his lieutenants are standing there, and one of the lieutenants looks at her and says, something in the spirit of what are your orders? And then she looks at you, Zunis, and she screams at you, yes, what are my orders?
Leave us be and release human prisoners.
And she screams back. She screams that back at one of her lieutenants, and he says, "So the dwarves stay." And the other one looks at him and says, well, "What about the halflings? Didn't say anything about the halflings. Only humans." And they kind of.
Okay, I clarify the refugees that you have taken prisoners.
And.
Oh, all the prisoners.
Okay, they leave, and they take some time, and you can hear chains rattling and the voices of people in the cave, and then you can see. Let me reveal a little bit more. Okay, so you hear that they basically gathered some prisoners and some people in the main hallway. And Snigbat looks at you and says, what should I do with the king?
Well, he doesn't have a golden helmet, does he? So he has to follow your orders, right?
Yes.
I mean, in that case, I don't think you have to do anything special with him.
I'll go forward and well, you're so pretty and you're so smart, so of course you shouldn't do anything special to him. Kill him. Kill him.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I just whispered to her, you don't want him to try to take the helmet back. He would probably do it while you sleep or something. I don't think you can trust him.
She thinks about it, and then she looks at her two lieutenants and she screams at them, I want a new blob! Find me a new blob! And with all the goblin, you can see a lot of them actually come out of all kinds of cracks and openings in the walls that you haven't explored yet. Most of them are non-combatants, like women, children, and young adults, and they kind of surround her, and there's a big raucous around her. And you can definitely use this time to check on the prisoners who are gathered in the middle of the cavern. And you can see what's left of Nightstone just in front of you. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 families, or the remains of 6 families. Stand in the middle of the room. They look like beaten and wounded, and they weren't treated very nicely. And you can see that some of them are like missing family members. You can see, for example, the first family that you lay eyes on is basically a tiefling woman and her son. And according, just by looking at her face, you realize that she's just lost her husband, but you're not sure if she lost him at Nightstone or in the Goblin's Den. And behind her, you can see several human families and one dwarven family. And this dwarf basically approaches you and says, "I knew it! Lady Nunder sent you, right? She hired an adventurers to come and save us."
I puff up my chest and I'm like, "Fear not, people of what is the city called again? Nightfall?
Nightstone.
Nightstone. Okay. I'm like, fear not, people of Nightstone, for I have saved you. You are now free to return to your homes."
And he...
well, you might want to return like with a bit of like
Remorse?
words failing me. No, the word like cautiously. Like there were some orcs there when we left. There's a new
Orcs?
guards there. Yeah, there's a new guards there. I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll protect you if they're still alive. And I think
elf,
there might,
probably.
I think there might still be survivors in there. There was a building covered in ruins. I don't know if you guys know anything about that building.
and
Asking the prisoners here.
the tiefling woman approaches you and she says, yes, that is my house.
Oh, yes. I didn't try to look in there, so I didn't want to set anything off.
And she smiles at you and says, you are smart not to.
Of course I am.
I'll
And
whip you with my tail.
the dwarf looks at all of you and says, well, orcs, yes, that might complicate things, but well, you can come with us, and when we dispose of the orcs, you will be invited to my inn. I will treat you with the best wines and food that I have.
I think
I think the goblins might have taken some of your wine and cheese. I saw some of that missing.
You
Thinking back to like drinking wine and cheese while the rest of the party were dying.
he says, yes.
So
well,
the inn was a bit damaged, but you can rebuild, and I'll put up the bag with the loot from the goblin treasure room. Like I think these belongs to you. We recovered it.
he looks at it and immediately turn around and kind of distribute the items around those families, and then he says, let's get out of this stinking place. Not a place for people like us.
No, let's escort them outside, and I think I explained to him about what we've been through with this Zalkin person and his mercenaries. I asked him if he ever heard of this person.
I didn't hear about Zolkin, but according to your description, these sounds like Zentarim to me. But now I'm really confused because you said there are orcs at Nightstone, and now I hear that Zentarim are there too. Maybe we should simply go there and see what happens.
Quarian is in a bit of shock when he mentions the name Zentarim.
so.
Shocks and anger.
Before we go there, can you guys tell us where you fled from exactly? What happened to Nightstone?
Well, it was very fast. Stones fell from the sky. I immediately shouted for everyone to run to the dripping caves, and he kind of motions around. But then he says, I wasn't aware of the fact that a tribe of goblins took residence here. We'll obviously return to mop the place and get rid of all of them, but not right now. And he looks back at all the people behind him, and you can see that most of them are simply farmers and elderly women and men and children. None of them can lift a sword.
Do you know anything about war weapons? Did it seem like they were shot from ballistas or something like that? Because I've heard some weird stories about the origin of these stones.
They were shot or thrown from a flying citadel. And a couple of minutes into the bombardment, 2 giants dropped from that citadel and torn the Nightstone from its resting place for years. And then they went up to their castle and continued to bomb the town.
I'm sorry, did you say flying building?
With giants on top of it. The stuffs of legend. Yes, I know.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing that the guards that were still in the city told me. I thought they may have gone mad or something, but unless this is a case of mass hysteria or something,
He
it
says,
must be so.
the people of Waterdeep must be notified. Giants roaming the skies so near are largest city of the Salt Coast. This is something unheard of for a lot of years.
Can I recall any information about the Nightstone that was taken?
So you know it's a big piece of black obsidian. It was covered in delicate runes, and there was an aura of divination around it, but no one managed to decipher exactly what it does. So you're not sure. And then the dwarf says, but these are giants, probably looking for some ancient relics of their long lost kingdom or empire. They did rule the land eons ago.
So you do think that they wanna build an empire again, or what do you think?
Well, they have been
They want
quiet for a lot of time. We haven't heard about giants' attacks recently, so I don't know. I think the magisters and open lords of Waterdeep need to hear about it.
They will definitely need to hear about this. We will take care of that. We will notify the appropriate.
Oh, I'm sure Lady Nander will probably file a report and maybe come to a visit in Waterdeep herself. After all, she is a descendant of a noble family from Waterdeep. And I'm sure she'll pay you whatever she promised to pay you. It was a noble thing of you to come here and save us.
I put a shoulder on his.
That would be really useful. How much did she promise us? I asked the rest of the group, since I didn't know that she was dead already.
I put a hand on his shoulder and I tell him that she died.
Died, you said? What?
Yeah.
Who killed her? What? How?
I think she died in the attack.
And you can see that his shoulders kind of express the anger and sadness, and then he says, well, if she died, there is no ruler in Nightstone. We should probably head back there to take whatever we can and head back to Waterdeep or something along these lines. And he looks at all the people behind him. He says, Lady Nander was the last of the Nanders here and in Waterdeep. If she's dead, there's nothing for us in that place.
Okay.
Okay. I suggest we leave this place then.
Yeah, we will be happy to escort you to your homes and to Waterdeep after that if you want to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. When you exit the tunnel and head back to Nightstone, those desperate people, they follow you, and indeed upon reaching Nightstone you realize that there's nothing to save. There are bodies of orcs everywhere, and inside Nightstone there's no you can't see Zolkin, but you do see the bodies of his men. So the whole place is like a massacre and a battlefield. So the people of Nightstone, they realize immediately that their residences were looted, and only Destiny, who is the tiefling, she kind of enters the town. She walks into her house and leaves, but you don't see anything on her. You don't think she took anything. She simply goes out, she locks the door, and then she says, "Waterdeep it is."
Okay. I have another question about giants. Giants are generally at war with the other people.
And Morak, the dwarf, says, "Not exactly. I'm not an expert on giant lore. If you want, I can take you to someone in Waterdeep who is. He's a friend of mine. But most of the giants, or at least those who can fly on castles, they are not in war with any race that I know of. It is actually very strange that they attacked us like this. It would have been... would make more sense if they simply stopped and talked with us.
Okay. And do they have like camps or cities, or are they spread across the land, or are they more like centralized in a specific location?
The way I understand is that the various types of giants don't mix well, and they choose, due to that fact, far away places to live in. It could be caves, it could be mountains of ice, it could be volcanoes or flying citadels, but as I said, I haven't laid my eyes on one since more than a decade or even two. I know that in Waterdeep there was one giant that belonged to the City Watch. His name was Harshnag. He was an adventurer.
Yeah, we knew someone of the City Watch once. A shame we can't ask him about it anymore.
But I haven't seen or heard about Harshnag for a long time now. You see, he was part of a very special adventuring party, but every time they tried to ask them to do something, the result was a lot of wreckage and destruction. So they disbanded that adventuring party eventually.
That sounds like my kind of party.
Some people just don't understand how this adventuring stuff works.
So, like, is flying citadels a common thing for giants?
I think there is one type of giants that might be able to employ such devices. Obviously, these are creations of great magics, long lost to the other races. But I don't know if it's common or not. It's the first one that I have laid eyes on.
All right.
And he looks at all the people and he says to everyone that he can take them to Waterdeep and then they're free to go, or they can all come to his cousins at Thornhold. There's a dwarven citadel not far from Waterdeep, and he can basically give those farmers shelter then there. So
I think we've heard about that castle before, Thornhold, right?
And Eileen nods. She says that Eamon met, and you all met someone from there, and he actually invited you all to there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was a dwarf that we saved in Waterdeep, right?
Right.
Yeah, and an old human noble that I totally did not steal his pouch from, along with a key.
Yes.
Totally did not. So, but I think we should escort these refugees where they want to go, and not make decisions from them.
Yeah.
So they agree to travel to Waterdeep, and from there to think upon it, think on it, sleep on it for a day or two.
Okay.
Okay, great. So assuming you escort them to Waterdeep, you basically get to know them just a little bit, and you can see that Morak, they basically consider him as their leader of sort, but you befriend the Agoner family, whose members are Destiny and her son. There is the Delfrindel family. They operated the Nightstone's windmill. The Hulvarn family, which are basically Godric Hulvarn. He's the father, and he has this swarm of little kids following him everywhere. Their mother was killed by the goblins. There is the Nesper family and the Ostara family, farmers as well, with some small kids, and the Summerhawk family, which is a family of halflings. And during that time, that travel time to Waterdeep, you kind of get to know them. And they're all shocked by the loss of their house, but they all seem to trust Morak and his leadership skills.
Okay.
Yeah, I am really interested in talking to Destiny, the tiefling woman, and like if she knows magic and like how it works, the runes she had on a house, those kind of things.
So she reveals to you that she is Nightstone's midwife. And make a straight charisma check as you two discuss matters of magic.
11.
So she claims to have no real magical knowledge, and that the runes are there to simply scare off unwanted visitors.
I don't believe her, but I'll let her lie to me.
Okay.
And accept that. Yeah, well, she did start by saying it was wise of me not to go into their house as soon as we met her.
Yeah.
And then after, oh no, they're just for decoration. Yeah, sure.
Okay. When you approach Waterdeep after, I think it's a day's ride or 2 days ride, I'm not sure, but you are basically being slowed by these farmers. So when you do reach the city, it is evident that most of the survivors of Nightstone have not laid their eyes on Waterdeep for a long time. They kind of enter it wide-eyed, but Morak is simply striding right in and helps them all through the gates. And then he looks at all of you and says that he will take all the survivors to the Temple of Sylvanus, where he has a friend. He hopes that the clerics there will give the villagers food and drink and maybe a place to rest, and then maybe tomorrow or the day after he will head to Thornhold. He does thank you all and says that if you'll need him, he will be staying at the temple for the next day or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we should go first speak with Jolly and then probably with the guard, the city guard, or what's the name of that? What was the chancellor who really hated Eamon for some reason?
The Magister?
The Magister.
Van Devries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so my priority list is I want to go back to where I live, and I want to write a letter for the Lord's Alliance so that they all know what's going on, and I want to see if there's some sort of giant ambassador somewhere we can get a hold of. And after that, I want to go to the Magister or whatever and see if there is any news about my the investigation that is hopefully happening right now.
Yes. And I'll of course be following along if you ever should need any help or Ellen should need help. It's not because I want to live in your mansion. Totally not. It's just like just I want to be close so I can help you.
Okay.
And I will also offer that the refugees that we can probably escort them there if they need our help to the Dwarven hold.
Okay.
Depending on what Jolly has to say. but we might be free to help them.
Okay. So you tell them that, and then you follow Zunis and Elin?
Yes.
Okay. And
Unless they kick me out. Like, just
No,
stop following me.
the house is big enough, I guess.
Good.
okay.
I don't take up much room. I'll just take the master bedroom.
Quarian?
I think I'm going to go visit my family, my wife and son,
Okay.
and later I'll go over to Jolly's place. Maybe I'll set up with you guys to meet the Jollies at I don't know. There's the evening. We can only meet at his place in the evening.
I'm in.
Okay. And Forgar, what do you want to do?
I am going to try and get my chainmail repaired.
Okay. Great.
I'm buying a new armor also. I have some gems that I maybe found somewhere underground that somebody dropped. So
If
I'm
you're
using
going
that.
shopping, I want to go shopping with you.
I'm just buying a set of armor.
Okay.
I actually don't remember. Did we actually get any money in this so far?
Well, I kind of found something.
I think so.
I have
And
4
as
gems.
a group?
As a
I
group,
don't
no.
think we have.
Uh-huh. It's a problem going around with a thief.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's why I was
But
gonna go shopping. Yeah.
Did you want to take the money from those refugees?
No,
A little.
Heaven forbid.
No, of course not. Like, nobody should have to go through that. Like, nobody wants to live on the street with nothing. We have to help people. I don't, like, taking money from the rich. Now,
A donation has been
payment for
made
that.
in your name
That's
to the
totally
human
okay.
fund.
I'm not getting payment from the rich. That's fine. Like, getting, like, from the jobs we do. But we shouldn't take it from, like, poor farmers.
That's true.
Are we getting paid by Jolly? Was this? Did
Yes,
we
yes.
succeed
Oh
on
yeah,
this?
So
right.
you do get paid from him. Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe Ellen could pay us. Like, she's rich, clearly, has a mansion.
Is she?
I mean, she's living in a mansion, so
Yeah.
I think that she should offer to repair any damages done to stuff we had on the way, right?
Well, I think the mansion comes with her job, I guess.
I'm not rich. I just live in a mansion and eat a really good food, and I have servants and stuff. But I'm not rich.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's that she doesn't pay for it, right? It's
Right,
paid
right.
by the state.
Right.
Right. So
So Zunis, when you actually step into the mansion, you find a letter addressed to you, signed with the signature of Magister Van Devries, and he says that there were developments in the interrogation and in the investigation of both your captured assassin, well, would-be assassin, and about the magical effect that made you explode.
Right.
And
Okay.
he is waiting for you in his office during regular reception times. So
okay.
Is that now?
I will make my way down there after I draft a letter for the Lord's Alliance
okay,
to warn them of the giants.
okay, and Forgar and Jackhands, as you go out shopping, Forgar, you immediately spot problem when 4 heavily armored men approach you, and I say problem because you recognize their insignia. These are members of the Everwatch Knights, and Aemon was an Everwatch Knight, and they kind of shoulder their way towards you, and when they stand face to face with you, one of them asks you, he says, we are looking for Aemon. Where is he?
He didn't make it. We encountered some giants on our last excursion, and he drowned.
So when you say giants, excursion, and drowned, they obviously take it. They don't enjoy the news, but they say giants, and then their leader says, "We were sent to investigate recent giant activity in Nightstone."
In Nightstone.
Yes, and
Was there-
several other settlements were attacked recently.
Did any of them by chance say Flying Citadel?
And again, they kind of look at each other, but one of them says, "No, not a flying citadel. The dwarfs of Thornhall, they spoke about a giant ship made of ice. But we haven't heard anything about giant citadel."
So Thornhall has been attacked also. Not that we've been in Nightstone. I didn't do it. It was me.
They say
I smack you.
They say that several settlements along the trade road were attacked, but these were small settlements, and they were attacked by raiding giants who plundered wood and stone and any construction material that they could lay their hands on. On Nightstone, they did hear some rumors about a flying citadel, but they didn't think it was a report that is to be trusted.
Yeah, credible
report,
yeah.
right?
Oh. Huh.
What?
That's interesting.
Well, there were stones that might have been dropped from the sky or something. We didn't see it. We didn't do it. Wasn't us.
Forgar, they kind of surround you and try to prod you with questions about Amen and what happened. They obviously feel the need to report, whatever happened to their superiors. And at this point, Jack Hins, you see someone familiar in the crowd around you.
Bye.
Okay. Familiar like a good way or bad way?
Asking the important question.
You see a young boy who is a messenger for special deliveries and special messages,
Yes.
and he kind of pulls on your sleeves and says,
I'll just quietly slip away. I don't like this heat that's around me.
"Okay."
They're knights. Like, who wants to deal with knights? Always say,
Thanks.
don't sleep here. Don't break into that place. Return that purse. Like unreasonable
So
things.
needy. So needy.
So Forgar, they want to hear everything about what happened to Aemon, and they even ask you if you could come and testify in front of the masked lords, because they were hired by them to learn whatever they can about giant activity. And they would love you to come and explain what happened in detail.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Jack Hins.
Wait, I gotta meet back at there later this evening, as long as it works with that.
Yeah, they say it should not take that long. Just simply filing a report and sending it back.
Perfect.
Okay. And when they see those marks on your chain, they offer to fix it on they'll pay it.
Right on.
Oh, good. So I don't have to offer to pay it. Which
I was gonna
going
make you.
Yeah, I was going to pay for it. Yeah, I might steal things, but it's not like I want to take everything away from the group. That's personally, I hate those kind of players that I'm a thief, I'll take everything and just that's mine, not share it with the group. So I will steal things, but I'll share it with the group.
Alright.
Eventually, at some point.
At some
When I have a huge pile, I'm just sitting around. Yes, you can have this coin.
1 gold piece for you, 1 for you, 50 for me.
Yes, share the wealth.
Jack Hins.
Down economic.
What?
Trickle down economics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally works.
For sure.
Jenkins, you, the kid kind of walks you through alleys and streets, and eventually tells you to stay right here while he fetches someone who really wanted to see you. And from the the darkness of one dirty street, Stev emerges. And he smiles to you and says, I've heard that you successfully completed your mission.
Yes, I did. I've not. There were some complications there. Like orcs showed up. I'm assuming that was not part of the plan.
Definitely not. But you did excel. And we are ready to go to the next phase.
Oh.
Yes, we've heard a particular message arrived at the hands of one Lady Elin, the ambassador of Ruathim.
Yes, I heard of her.
Anything you can tell us about this message?
I'm not sure. I tried to get my hands on it, but someone grabbed it out of my hand and it got burned.
Burned,
Or
you
some-
said.
There was a trap on it, and whoever looked at it was clearly incompetent. Like, didn't notice the trap or anything. So, it was mostly burned.
He says, we need you to follow the lady around and make sure that you are useful to her.
Way ahead of you. I already got a room in her house.
And he kind of looks at you, appreciatively. And then he says, we need to know what was written on that message. You said that it was burned. In this case, I can refer you to someone who could probably mend it. Have you heard of Zabas Thul?
I look like really thoughtful for like half a minute, even though I know right away I haven't heard of him. No, I don't think so.
I'm writing his name here. Zabas Thul. And he says, you can find him at the Blushing Nymph Fest Hall. He is an ex-pirate with some knowledge of, let's say, a way of making cryptic messages become easily understood. We've been using his services for a long, long time. He's a quirky figure, but he is the very best of his kind. If you'll take the message to him, I'm sure he will be of great assistance.
And I assume I shouldn't let the others know about this guy?
It really depends on you. We make business with him, but he's not associated with us in any way.
Okay. Well, but it might be hard to get the message away from them.
You can, in this case, make the introduction.
Okay. I'll try and do it alone, but if that doesn't work, I'll bring the others.
And he says, oh, and that jolly fellow you work for, we left a package for you at his house.
Oh, well, thank you. Always looking out for me, as always. I really appreciate it. Like everything you've done for me. I really can't thank you enough.
He smiles and disappears into the night. Quirion.
Yeah.
You went to visit your wife and son, and you find them in... Well, they are in this... how old is your son?
I should have remembered that.
Is he above 10?
Nope.
Okay. So you find them in the middle of an argument. He says,
5 years old.
okay, so he basically shouts at your wife, and she's shouting back, and you find them, you know, in the middle of this huge argument. And when you show up, she kind of turns and she says, "There's nothing I can do about this one. He's gone mad. I don't know where you have been for the last 3 days."
You really don't want to know. Fan, what is your problem today?
And he looks at you and he says, I just met my grandfather. I just met your father.
My jaw stays open for a minute, and then I close it, and
You didn't tell me I have a grandfather. And she...
I said, I look at my wife, Anna. How did this happen?
It didn't. He had a dream. That's all. And then your son kind of shrieks, "No, it wasn't a dream. It was real. He was here. And he said he will bring me a lot of presents." And he starts crying all over. And
okay, I take him with me to like another room, and I calm him down. I let him drink a bit, and I ask him, what exactly did he see, and how did he see it? Where? Tell me everything.
And she says that he simply woke up in the middle of the night, and yes, his window was open, but you know, she doesn't lock it every day, and it was the weather was fine, so no reason to lock it. And he simply woke up and said that, you know, he saw his grandfather in the window, and they had this conversation. And
did he say what his name was?
No, he didn't say name. He didn't say anything. He just said that he thought it was a monster. But then he realized that it's his grandfather. It's very confusing, you know, kids.
I try to talk with with my son alone a bit, to take him away from my wife again. You know what? I'm going to ask him if he wants to go out for a walk on the street with me.
Yeah, sure. He'll be happy. And she kind of, you know, she nods at you because it's way past his bedtime, but
let's walk it off a bit, and I'll bring him back to bed in a minute.
Okay.
I tried to gather some more information from him, you know, in a calm manner this time. What did he look like? What did he say? What did they talk about?
So he says that for the last 2 nights, so the night before and this night, 2 nights before and the night just before this one, he had a monster staring at him from the window of his room. But he talked about it with your wife, and she said that he has to face his fears, and next time the monsters show up, simply shout at her to go away. And he did, and the monster answered and said that the monster is actually his grandfather. And then it promised him a lot of presents after asking a lot of questions about you, actually. And
what did you tell him about me?
I told him everything. Your name and what you love to do and where you like to hang out, and about all your friends, and about that little gnome you work for, and everything.
Can you tell me how he looked?
Oh, it was a monster. But then he was nice. So it wasn't a monster, it's just, you know, he looked nice.
Okay. No scars under his face or anything like that?
No.
Was it human or elf?
And he kind of thinks about it. And you know your son, so you're pretty much sure that now he invents everything. Okay. From this point on, and then he goes and says, "No, he was an old man with a big beard and the hat of a wizard." But
I see.
you realize that he has no idea how this creature, if it really exists, looks like.
Okay. So I start taking him back home, and on our way there, I tell him that if he sees him again, ask him what his name is.
And he says, you don't know what's the name of your grandfather, of your father?
Of course I do. I just want to make sure that he remembers.
And he smiles, and he jumps to bed eagerly, obviously looking to meet the monster once more.
Okay. I'm going to lock the window
Okay.
in his room,
Okay.
and then I'll talk with my wife and tell her to keep an eye if she can on the window to make sure that nobody enters.
Okay.
And then I'll go over to Charlie to meet the guys.
Okay. Great.
Meet the gang.
Zunis, when you and Aline go to the Magister's offices, you find him basically surrounded with his guards. And obviously something bad happened because you can see the grim looks on their faces. But when you approach, he kind of straighten up and invites you and Aline in. And you can immediately see that his the way he treats you and Aline is very different from the way he treated you like 3 days ago. Something changed.
Okay.
And when you step in, he says that when his people interrogated the assassin, which by the way his name was Andraste, someone tried to set free Andraste. During the interrogation, one of the agents that was responsible of guarding the room double-crossed the watch and actually tried to release the assassin. Luckily, the watch is ever vigilant, and they managed to kill both the agent and both the assassin. And using the clerics of Sylvanus, they cast Speak with Dead on both the corpses. And they realized, but they found out that the assassin came from a warehouse in the city. A warehouse in the control of a powerful noble family from Waterdeep. And they basically wanted to storm the building, but he decided to maybe adhere to the customs of Eline's people and pay her the respect that he didn't pay her last time, and actually allow her to do it. The barbarians are known for, their ferocity and their way of taking the law to their hands. So, but you as her administrator, you can make the decision. If you want, his people will do it, but if the lady wants to have her way, he is all up to it. He will back her up with a warrant, because it is a big noble family here, a family that deals with the arcane. And he also reveals to you that this family is operating an arcane institution called the El Torchul Academy, which is basically academy for wizards. It's like the Howard or Yale University for wizards here. It's like the big money academy.
Okay.
So he has the address of a warehouse belonging to that family, and he knows the assassin came from that warehouse. It's probably a safe house.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very thankful for that information, and to let us make the ultimate decision. I think we have to take our time and not do anything rash here, and yeah. I will discuss it with Alan, and we'll see how we proceed.
Okay. Great. And with this, you all basically kind of finish your own businesses and converge on or next to Jolly's shop. And you find the shop closed. And his chambers just above it, like he lives on the second floor of his store, are dark and empty.
This seems odd. Maybe the back entrance is unlocked. I'll go around and check. I assume there's a back entrance.
Of course there is.
Yes.
Let me help you with that.
I can check it myself. Oh well, you can come with me if you really want to, but I'll go around there and pick the lock, unless it is actually unlocked.
Okay. No, you are very familiar with this lock, so you pick it up very easily. And after looking inside the shop, you find something very strange. You find a single note on Jolly's very tidy and clean desk. And on that note, you can read in common, but written in a very rough script. There's this small note, and on it the words, "Winter is coming."
And I will bring the others in here also.
Okay. And on that...
And of course saying, like, he's always forgetting to lock the back door as I do it.
And when
Is
you...
it that season?
When you... Not yet, actually. Not yet. It is... I have it somewhere written here, but not. It's not winter. No, you think it's either. I think it's either fall or spring, but I'm not sure. I will check. And the letter or the paper, you can see delicate vines of greenery on it, and you recognize it as like the standard paper of the shrines of nature, which is the temple. Dedicated to Sylvanus in town.
Okay, we have business there as well. By the way, did you get your package? What?
I don't know. I'll look around for it while I'm here.
So you definitely do find a leather wrapped something in your kind of spot, but what it is, I will let you know the next time we meet.
Yes, I won't open it in front of anybody else.
Okay.
Open it. I want to know. Show
No,
it. Party.
It's not until tomorrow. It's Christmas. I can wait another day. I don't open my Christmas present early.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, right.
Alright.
Great.
I don't open it. I just shake it a bit, touch it, like the weight, the smell, everything. Yeah, like that. No.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, next time we meet, and we'll know why winter is coming and what Morten got to Christmas.
What happened to Jolly?
What happened to Jolly?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
He's out. He's just out buying winter clothes, like big heavy fur. I'm sure that's it. It's not
What are
like
we
the rain.
planning? When's our next game?
Yeah. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure. A very interesting Saturday evening, I must say.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a nice
Yeah.
game.
So yeah, playing again in like 2 weeks, since next week is New Year's Eve.
Yep, next Sunday in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the 6th of January.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Sixth?
Cool.
Right on. That's a Saturday. Are we going?
No.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Sundays.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Sunday. That was a one-time treat.
7th?
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Okay, so enjoy your weekend, your vacations, your time with the family, and
Yeah.
I hope everyone will be healthy and get a lot of
Oh.
presents.
Oh, I'm
Right.
sure I'll be extremely unhealthy. Like so much food. Like
Very much.
way too much food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Take
Yeah.
care and have a great time with your families. And I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. You too.
All
Hope-
right.
yeah.
Bye,
I hope
guys.
you don't get sick also. I do.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
A lot of
Sneezing.
germs in that house.
Yeah. Sneezing. Like.
Yeah, I have it right
Yeah.
here. I'm good.
Yeah. We heard that during the game.
I know.
Loudly. It's fine.
Yeah, life.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'll go to sleep
guys.
and see you very
Have a
soon.
good one.
All
Yep.
right. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.